there are two, maybe three examples of petroglyphs, and yeah, there's some back on that side. It's kind of hard to see it in the lighting here. So these ones we like to go over for everyone. These are petroglyphs, and then the examples at Burnt Cave are pictographs. So do you guys know the difference between the two?
Can we go in the cave too?
No. Ooh, yeah.
That's gonna be a fun time.
So this one, the petroglyph, these rocks have that black patina on the outside. It's called a desert varnish. So it's just minerals and stuff that were deposited there over a long period of time. And the images, the writing, you know, was put there by taking away that patina, so chipping away at it. The pictographs, they're so similar, it's hard to, petroglyph, pictograph. Those ones were put on with putting a pigment on the rock. So you'll see at Burnt Cave there, they have like a red kind of hue to them. So they created that pigment and they put it on the rock. Because this one, you know, had the patina taken off of it, it's more difficult to age, you know, how old this is or how long ago that was put there. But they estimate about 2,000 years ago the images were put here, which is a really long time ago. And then Grimes Point on the way in, you saw the parking lot there. Sure, you guys will find a way. All right, this is where you start climbing up rocks and stuff, so be careful.
That'd be cool. Just playing tic-tac-toe would be great.
Would it be the world's longest game of tic-tac-toe though? Like for how much effort that takes? Like all for it, man.
There's the fact that it takes 100 years for it to grow 1 inch. So there's plenty of it out here. It's been out here for a while.
So like 2,000 years, it would go 200 feet.
Math is not my strong suit, so yeah, I'd have to convert. I use Alright, so this one is, it's called Picnic Cave. Technically it's a rock shelter.
What happens if like an earthquake happens? Will everything like start falling and tumble? Or is like everything built really strong?
I feel like a few things might fall, but this has been here for a long time. So same thing with Hidden Cave. It's been there for 10,000
about all the coral.
Yeah, the freshwater coral. So it's also called tufa. So what does that mean? That this was all underwater at one point. And that's actually how the rock shelter was created, from the wave action eating away at the side here. And then if you kind of look out over to that hillside, you can see the lines along the hill. So that's the same thing. Those were the different watermarks and the wave action creating those different sections there. So yeah, at one point this was all underwater. All the way above Hidden Cave where we'll be was underwater about 20,000 years ago. And that's how the caves were formed, from the water. So yeah, there were a lot of rock shelters like this along the edge, and like we were saying, all along the range as well. And yeah, just keep your eye out for the tufa. We'll point it out as we go, but yeah, it's also above Hidden Cave there. So you just get a good sense of how much water there must have been.
I found the way. I found the way.
You found one back that way?
Yeah.
Feel free to check it out.
But it's too small for even Caleb to go in it.
Oh.
Caleb's like teeny guy.
I definitely would not fit them.
A baby would have to go in there.
Right. And then there were no artifacts recovered here. Obviously, it's open for anybody passing through to stop, but also the elements. If it would have gotten rain on it and snow and everything, would have degraded anything that was here.
So that's our room, and this is Caleb's.
So I guess that's why they call it Picnic Cave. It'd be a good spot to stop for a little bit and get some shade.
No, a tiny boy. No, this is our room. Oh, I see another cave. Me too. Up there. Okay, guys.
Cool. Anybody have any questions about Picnic Cave?
No.
All right.
I only had one question. And I have a question about every cave. Can this be a home? Oh yeah, I have one more question. Can this end up being a home? Like if someone builds off it and builds a wall?
I don't know, because there's no real chimney if you wanted to have a fire to stay warm. I don't think anybody would stay here.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can make a fire.
I'm scared.
You could. It'd be a little smoky then. Did you have a question?
Oh, I just realized something. There was a little brown circle on the ground.
Mm-hmm. I think someone tried to have a fire, yeah.
And also there's the
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Watch your steps as you go.
Stay still. We have to go back down.
Back down just a little bit. Start going up.
Yeah, taking
that's how they were able to read the past and see what happened a long, long time ago.
How do you read the past?
So people, right? They observe different things, but you'll see they left it all dug up, and we'll go over kind of what was there, how it was formed. So even before there was water here, this is all like some kind of volcanic rock. So there were, things happening inside the earth that made these rocks, come up here, and then the water came and it ate away at it. But yeah, I'll show you inside the cave. No. Right, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the sea bog.
Oh, it's so warm in the cave. You guys are gonna not want to leave.
I didn't expect that.
So I just gotta plug this in and then start this thing up, and we'll be
On our way.
You know the door opens? Get punched in the face immediately.
Literally, when we went down the elevator, you could smell it in the elevator.
It didn't smell that strong, but I was like,
yeah, I think we got the old one in there on the side yet. It's like gigantic. All right, so yeah, like I said, you're gonna have to crouch down, and then I'll let you know when it gets taller. But just take your time standing up because there's it's all full of rocks, All right, so come on in.
Oh, I just realized the butter's right here.
what the? Ah.
Oh yeah, take it. This is right about where I bump my head every show.
No, I think it's yours.
Am I allowed to go down there?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna point a few things out as we go here. Starting to open up,
It's okay. Do not touch that wall at all.
Yes. All right, so welcome into Hidden Cave.
Hey, this can be my little Do not touch the pipes.
So one thing to keep in mind,
These are all
this opening was enlarged many times throughout the digs. Like we were saying, when it was originally rediscovered, it was just barely big enough to crawl in, and the level of the floor obviously would have been up here, all the way over. So they left this all open after they dug it up. So typically throughout history, this sedimentation, the lower something is, the older it is. And then, think about in your house, dust kind of accumulates every once in a while, or, it just gets layers of this sediment in the cave. So this bottom portion that's kind of stuck out more is, I like to think about it like the geological record of the cave, this bottom portion. So they could see the bedrock, they could see when it was a wet cave. That's how they were able to determine, that 20,000 years ago, the cave was formed. This is the only opening, the one we came in. You can see it was a little moist around the opening. There's some moisture, that gets in a little bit on the ceiling here, but generally this is a very dry cave, and that's why everything was so well preserved. They were able to tell that 10,000 years ago the water receded below the opening of the cave and it started to dry out. They know that there were some times that the cave was wet again. And then other times when it started drying out. So about after 10,000 years, that's when it started drying out. And then it was about 3,000, 4,000 years ago, that range, when it was actually utilized for storage, they suppose. You know, obviously there's no chimney in here either. So to try to picture being in here without these lights on, which you're more than welcome to when I turn them on and turn them off and close up, but you know, this is the only general area that gets a little bit of light from that opening, and like we said, it was already enlarged. So you can see some of the tule lined mats. You know, they put some kind of you know, if it was a mat or what they were doing in this area, but you know, they tried to look for artifacts, and not much was used over here, and this was more heavily utilized in this area. So this top portion is more the, I guess before I get into that, on the bottom you can also see that Mount Mazama ash line that's on this wall here. It's a white ash line from about 7,000 years ago when ancient Crater Lake erupted. So a lot of sites have that Mazama ash line. They were able to find it and help gauge the different layers in here. So this top layer goes over where the cave started being utilized, and you can see the vegetation that was brought in. The rectangular tags kind of talk about what was found in that location. The circular ones have numbers. It's more about the type of rock and the layer, and you know, it's kind of out of my realm with those ones to pick. You can see here, this one shows a cache pit. So at the time that this cave was utilized, you know, the floor would have been here. They dug it out right here, and they lined it with tule, and then they stored things in here that they would have wanted to find later. So a way to think about it, you know, if you wanted to go catch cutthroat trout, there wouldn't be any in this marsh really close, and it's only a couple months out of the year that you'd have to travel, you know, miles and miles and miles to go find the spot. You know, maybe you have a certain hook, fishing hook that you want, or a netting. So you would store that in here knowing that it would be safe here for you to come back. You'd have to crawl your way in the dark, feel around, find your cache pit, know what's in there, and then know when you need to use it. It's all pretty amazing that you know, they were able to do all that and survive out here, and yeah, just live off the land like that. There's some wolf bones that were found in here, and then you can see the atlatl spear end. There's one sticking out here in the wall. There's one sticking out over here, and I think there's part of one on this corner. Yeah, right there you go. There's a tiny one right there. But like they were saying, there's more, you know, to find, and if, you know, it wouldn't, they must not, you know. Because this is such a sacred site, we don't really want to have any more disturbance, you know. There's already been so much use in here. And I'm just trying to think, I guess the other thing people ask about is, you know, why is the ceiling all black if they never had fires in here? So that was in the 30s when they tried to get all the bats out of here. They burned a whole bunch of tires. Just kind of
Nice.
them out. So that's why that's like that. It was the 30s, and that's what they did, I guess. Of course they did. So the 3 digs, and I'm trying to learn more about it. Originally, they did kind of a line here, I think, and then they branched out this way. So they did a little bit over here, but not as much, yeah, that I'm aware of. And I guess there are like 3 levels. You know, we're on the lower level. There's a middle level, and then way up in there, there's the upper level. So I don't believe anything was found in the upper level, but everything was more concentrated down this way. Whether that's, you know, Yeah, if it was on the surface, or yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I always try to just imagine, you know, maybe they didn't want to put, you know, something that they wanted super close to the opening because they wanted it more hidden, you know, or it would just be, yeah, hard to crawl all the way back in there without all these lights, you know. Right, yeah. I know, it'd be so, and like that goes back over that way. Oh, right. Yeah, the whole video is kind of just, yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know how far back. I think that goes back the furthest, and you can kind of see.
Oh man, it's pretty nice.
Looks like that.
Must be nice being short.
I really think it's like yeah, I guess when they were excavating in here, a big thing they were writing about was how difficult it was with all the dust. Yeah, with the one opening, and I think that's why, you know, they kind of put some ventilation system out this way, and that's why we have that shed there, I believe. But yeah, they had a fan, you know, trying to get all of this, because they would, you know, kick up so much dust, trying to, they would sift everything out that way, but still just collecting everything. And oh yeah, yeah, and they had all the masks on, and what's that? Oh yeah, there's a really good one right up here. Is the best one that I've seen. Yeah, right there. If you go on the other side, you can see it sparkles pretty well. And
Oh, yeah.
kind of right that one.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
You girls, come here.
Great idea.
Were you in the cave before?
No, this is.
What?
I haven't been
No
yet.
way.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
I'm glad
read
you're
the
looking.
entire newsletter.
Oh wow.
My grandpa was like a huge involvement in
Yeah.
the cave, and we've never been.
Wow. What was he? How was he involved?
He was chairman of the tribe for a long time.
Oh, super cool. Awesome.
Does that opening over there, does it go down?
Right over in there.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure. They say everything, you know, opens up. Some like goes separate ways, but I've never. Yeah.
What happens when someone ends up being really bad?
Which is super sad. But yeah. Original post.
Whew. Funky in there, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Went to Oregon.
Uh-huh.
The sea lion caves. Oof.
So you've been to other caves before?
No, there's in Oregon. We went to go visit family up there, and they have like a sea lion cave. It's like a place. It's on the coast, and you like go down like an elevator like about like 100 feet, and it's like right on the coast in like a cave, and you go in there it's like, ooh, it's smack, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not as much as that, but
Yeah.
it hard.
Yeah, that's the second cave I've been into, but that's the biggest one I've been in for sure.
Yeah, that's sick.
Take it easy. Is there a quicker way down? Ooh, someone got a Rivian. Damn. What you know, Hidden Cave is